Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all doing very well. Tonight I have got a real life documentary that I want to review for you all. It's a movie from Denmark, Danish language English subs, released in 2010, directed by Janus Metz Pedersen, and this movie is called Armadillo. And the story to Armadillo is as follows. Award-winning film director Janus Metz arrives in Afghanistan with a group of young soldiers on their first tour of duty. Stationed on the Helmand frontline in Camp Armadillo, the platoon fights increasingly fierce battles with an enemy that is nearby but rarely seen. Metz captures life on the front line with an uncompromising and intense vision, bearing witness to the realities of the combat zone. As the fighting intensifies, the effect of modern warfare is gradually realized as exhaustion, fear, and adrenaline set in. Idealism meets paranoia in an authentic gun battle, and decisions are made that can never be reversed. Gripping, thought-provoking, and visceral, this is as close as you get to battle action from the edge of your seat. So it's a real-life documentary of war in Afghanistan and war on the front line. Janus Metz, the director, he accompanies a young platoon of Danish soldiers on their first tour of duty in Afghanistan. They get to their base in Helmand called Armadillo, and this is where the film takes place. Now, the director, he goes on patrols with this platoon, and he's basically detailing every aspect of life for a soldier. So he's interviewing these soldiers before and after their introduction into the real life combat. And gradually, as the film starts, they're all happy and they don't know what to expect. But when the realities of war start to set in, their personalities start to change. So what happens from that point on, I don't want to spoil anything. So you do get to witness a few confronting and shocking moments, but that's something I don't want to tell you about because I don't want to spoil anything. So if you want to know what that's all about, please go out there and have a look at this film for yourself. Now my thoughts on this movie. Very, very thought-provoking and extremely confronting. This is real life stuff. This is what life is really like in war. And nothing is glorified, and it is a very scary film. Now, what I loved about this documentary so much is that it didn't feel like a documentary because Janus Metz Pedersen, he has filmed this like it was just a feature film, and you can kind of get lost in the action. And when the action is happening, you can be forgiven for thinking that these guys are acting. But when you remind yourself that they're not acting, reality just really sets in, and you think, okay, these guys are not acting. These bullets flying around that you can hear hissing past their ears, that is real, and that just it hits home how how war is. We don't like to think about war, but when it actually is on screen, when it's real, it's just more impactful, and it shows. Just you have to witness it to really understand the true feeling of it. It's just a very unique experience when you actually see footage on TV that isn't actually acted. It's real, and this is the full deal, and this is what soldiers have to put up with every single day on their tour. So you really are going along with them on their tour because Janus Metz Pedersen, he gets right in the thick of things. When he's being fired upon, he is just as much danger as the soldiers because these bullets are nearby and you can actually hear the bullets going past. And so a lot of suspense is created from this because you just don't know when an attack is going to happen. And when an attack happens, it's done very, very fast and it's out of nowhere. So you're really on the edge of your seat every single second of this actual movie. And it just really hits home and gives you much more of an appreciation of the soldiers who are actually currently fighting in Afghanistan. Because if it's this much of an ordeal to experience through the cinema, then I can't even imagine what these soldiers are going through in real life. Now, the scary thing about this movie is it shows that what war does to a person. Now, obviously, movies, they glorify the violence sometimes, and it's seen as a bit of a cool thing, but it's certainly far from the truth because this film, the young soldiers are changed forever. They've witnessed stuff that they can never reverse. You can't get that sort of stuff out of your memory, and it's only normal that it's really going to play on your mind. And by the film's end, you can really understand some of the soldiers' reactions to what they've seen. Now, some of it is barbaric, and another really disturbing factor to this is that eventually, when the soldiers have witnessed so much, they kind of forgive atrocities because it's just an everyday occurrence. So it kind of, you kind of, their eyes glaze over and they're immune to anything by the end of it. And it shows you that, war really does corrupt souls. And some of the soldiers in this film, it really does show the heartache and the mental torture that soldiers actually go through, and just the constant pressure of not knowing whether or not you're going to survive the day is evident in this movie. I mean, Jonas Metz Pedersen has captured everything in this. It is just full on. It's eye-opening. As I said, there's a lot of interviews, one-on-one, where you get an insight into what these soldiers are thinking. But a lot of the movie is shot like a feature film, so it really doesn't feel like a documentary. So if you don't like documentaries, you're going to get something out of this one because, as I said, it is shot like an actual feature film. Now, there's not much else I could really say. It's just very, very realistic. The director has gone right to the fullest length possible in order to get you to understand the harsh realities of warfare. Soundtrack is very, very subtle. I mean, the cinematography, he's captured the harsh atmosphere brilliantly. There are a few very suspenseful scenes where they don't know whether or not someone's fighting for the Taliban or it's actually a civilian. I thought the director played that really, really well. And it's just a lot of qualities about the movie that just make it a very, very unique experience. So I'm giving this 5 out of 5. It really was an incredible piece of filmmaking, and everybody has to see it because it will really open your eyes to what war really is. And war, it's a complete waste of life. And the people who are serving in the front line really need to be, applauded so much more because of what they have to go through. We just take it for granted, but when you're actually in there in the front line, you know what these guys have to go through, and this film does a very good job at detailing that. So definitely a movie to get if you can stomach real life footage of dead bodies. I mean, there are a few real life footage of some dead soldiers, but it's not gratuitous. It's not like your extreme sort of real life stuff. This one actually serves a purpose. While it's confronting and hard to watch, I actually feel that it is very necessary in order to get an understanding of what these soldiers have to go through. So an absolutely incredible experience. Definitely one that I am going to say go out there and experience for yourself. So that is the Danish War Documentary Armadillo. Alright guys, that's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, keep watching movies and I'll see you later.